Hello guys, this is Parth here, and today I would be speaking on Titanic dataset. So, according to the dataset, I have got amazing data which consists of several columns like passenger ID, the people who survived during the Titanic, then it's the passenger class, right, which is divided into first, second, and third. Obviously, then it's name, gender, age, and so on. So we also see that in the data sets, the cabin column has several entries which are null, which does not have any of the data in it. So we just gonna talk about that in the further explanation. So currently I have headed to just 10 data sets, just the 10 rows of the entire data. So the data basically consists of 891 entries, and we have several data types listed down here of each object which we are going to talk about. So as we go down, I see that there is a survival ratio which is created. The whole data could be divided into a binary data set. So hence, the one here goes for the people who are survived. Zero is for the people who did not survive. Sorry, the zero is for the people who survived, but one for the people who did not survive. It's the whole first data that speaks about people who survived and did not survive. So now we see that I showed you before that there were few values which were missing from the data set. So when we come down to the missing value processing, I have used something called forest regressor model, which identifies the important like obviously see firstly I'll tell you one thing that if there is a whole data set, okay, the whole data set is here, and you see that this value is null, but being the this value null, it doesn't mean that the whole data is a waste data. We cannot delete this data or make it not count here, because if I have not captured the value of a cabin, it doesn't mean that you don't have to not you don't have to count this. It doesn't mean that like age is an important criteria of the for predicting like the people who died of were of what age, people who survived maximum were of what age. So you get a lot of stats through it. So this regressor model makes sure that you are not losing out the data, and just so I have like focused here on the age data, which is the age of survived people. And also like the I told you about the cabin thing having null data. So the null data I have filled with the uh, u0, which means that the system should still read the data if it is null. So I have named the data wherever there is null value as u0. Now going on to the third step, which is preliminary data analysis. Here I will show you several another model, predictive models, and it will be done through linear regression. And now this time, uh, so linear and logistic regression to be correcting myself here. And you see the trained data, uh, which is divided by gender and people who survived by the gender. So females, if you see zero, as I said before, zero is people who survived, one is people who did not. So you see that in females, 81 people uh, survived, and 81 people did not survive, and 233 people survived. Even in the male, the same thing. 468 people survived, and 109 people did not survive. So this is one of the predictive values here, which we can clearly see that females were more survived than the males. And here we have done a relationship between different classes. You see, the people in the first class had higher chances of surviving than the people in the second and third class, respectively. Okay, and as we move down, we have categorized as how like class and gender. We have mixed it and shown that in which class male and female survived the most. As we clearly saw that first class had the highest rate of survival, following second and third class, which is the same, but now you have also seen it by the gender here. So this is another graph showing the age of the people and what class they were in. And also you could see the blue part as the people who survived, and the orange part as people who did not. Oh, it's the class, I mean. One, two, three is the classes, and this is the age. Same for here. This is age, and this is gender over here. So yeah, another one. We have also shown the box plot according to the age and vice versa. Now another graph we see here about the trends in the age as per the density of the people who survived. So again, survived is here. The people who survived is in blue, and the people who did not is in this peach color over here. You can clearly see that people who survived and died were basically between the ages of 15 to 60, 65 to 70. Between those ages, people were like got the highest rate of death and life. But if you see, the peak is on the age 25, like the people who survived at the peak, it was the age of 25. The people who died was at the peak of age around 28 or 30 years of old age. Another one, we have the heat map comparing the whole correlation between life and death. Also showing passenger ID survive, basically all the columns which are mentioned in my data set. So this was my project, and basically my whole target was to predict how many people survived in Titanic and how many people did not survive during the bad incident which had happened. And basically the answer to it was through demographics which I had, and then I just made some models. I used Jupyter notebook and did my programming in Python to explain you all. Thank you so much. I hope you guys understood my video. If you have any doubts or queries, feel free to comment on my video on the discussion question, or you can also comment me on this YouTube video wherever you like. I'll be answering your doubts. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Take care.